Hello and welcome back to Rongmar. In today's science lesson we're going to be looking at the weird and wonderful world of plants. Our vault for today is to identify the locations of some of the more unusual plants and to have a look at the role of agriculture. But first, how many plants do you think you could name? Let's give ourselves 60 seconds. Pause the video and see how many names of plants you can write down at that time. Well, how'd you get on? If you got more than 10 or 15, that's very impressive. But not that impressive. Scientists know that there is more than 390,000 types of plants in the world, and new species are being discovered all the time. Around 2,000 new species of plants are discovered every single year. The world is full of amazing plants. The scientists in charge of naming and discovering these plants are called botanists. All plants need the same things in order to survive. They need air, food, water, and light. However, just like animals, plants need to be able to adapt to the environment they live in. Some plants can survive in really cold places, others in really hot, some in dry, and some in wet. The place where a plant lives is called its biome. If you've ever played Minecraft before, you might have heard this word before already. Here's a few of the major biomes in the world. Let's take a visit to a few of them. But before we go there, do you remember the names of the 7 continents of the world? Because we're going to be visiting a few of them today. Can you remember which one is which? Pause the video and label the 7 continents. Well, did you get them? Today we're going to have a look at some quite unusual plants that can be found in some of these different continents. Our friend Billy the botanist is going to take us on a little journey around the world to see some of them. Off you go, Billy. The Dracula benedicti. If you look closely at the middle of this plant, you can see it looks like a monkey's face. Can you see it? Billy found this plant in Colombia. Do you know where in the world Colombia is? What continent it's on? Would you be able to point it on a map? Let's see then. Here's your map of the world. Put your finger where you think Colombia is. Then see if you can name the continent that your finger is on. Pause the video and give it a try. Well, how close were you? Colombia is in this top part of South America. Let's go visit another part of the world, Billy. The tropical pitcher plant. This creepy plant eats insects by trapping them inside its pitcher. Once they fall in, there's no escape because the inside is really sticky. Then the plant slowly starts to digest them like a stomach. Billy found this one in Sri Lanka. Do you know where in the world Sri Lanka is? What continent Sri Lanka is on? Well, let's head back over to the map and check. Put your finger on where you think Sri Lanka is. When you've got your finger somewhere, can you tell me what continent you are on? Pause the video and give it a try. Well, did you get it? Sri Lanka is an island to the south of India. It's in the continent of Asia. Alright, Billy, let's go to another one. Oh, I know this one. This plant is known as the corpse lily. Not only is it really ugly looking, but it absolutely stinks. It got the name corpse lily because it smells like rotting flesh. This plant was found in Indonesia by Billy himself. Do you know where in the world Indonesia is? What continent it's in? Well, back to the map. Same again. Put your finger on where you think Indonesia is. Then, when you're there, figure out what continent you're on. Pause the video and give it a try. Well, if you found that one, I am most impressed. Indonesia is in the continent of Asia. And it's a bit unusual because it's a country made up of lots of different islands. Indonesia also sits right on the equator. Now, I know what you're thinking. Those plants are unusual and all, but I still don't really care about plants. What good are they? Well, Without the edible parts of plants, you would get very hungry very quickly. And I know you're saying, but I'm not a vegetarian. I don't even like broccoli that much. Well, it doesn't matter. If you're a carnivore, the animals that you're eating feed off plants to survive. So no plants, no hamburgers. How many foods can you name that come directly from plants? Pause the video and write down about 10. Now I'm sure all of you put down a few vegetables and maybe some fruits, but did you think of these ones? Wheat is a staple food that's used to make things like flour, pasta, cereals, cakes, and biscuits. Oats are used to make things like porridge, cereal, biscuits, flapjacks. Beans are the seeds of the plant. They're eaten in lots of different ways, including baked beans. And rice is a grain that's used in lots of different food dishes, like sushi and curry, and sometimes as a side dish. Of course, then there's the countless fruits and veg like grapes and peppers and garlic and ginger and mushrooms, coconut, the list goes on and on and on. As well as grains and fruit and veg, we also get nuts from plants. Nuts are fruit with a hard shell and an edible inside. Some nuts grow on trees, some grow on bushes, and some, like peanuts, grow under the ground. Unfortunately, the weather in Ireland isn't good enough to grow most of those things, but we can grow some things. Take a look at these pictures of different food products. Some of them can be grown in Ireland, some of them can't. They need a different biome. Can you sort the ones that can be grown in Ireland from the ones that can't? Pause the video and sort these into their two groups. Well, how'd you get on? Flour, sugar, apples, oats, asparagus, rhubarb and strawberries are all really easy to grow in Ireland. Things like rice, tea, orange, grapes, olives, sweet potatoes, chocolate, coffee, peanuts and pineapple, not so much. They need a much different biome than we have here. Luckily for us, this isn't actually a problem for us. Because not all countries can grow the same kinds of food, they trade with each other. This means that one country will pay to have pineapples and bananas, and they might give away their wheat and their corn to other countries that can't grow them by themselves. So next time you're munching on a burger or eating a bar of chocolate, remember that without plants, you wouldn't be eating that. That's all we have time for this week. Until next time, take care.